how to play with some pictures. So you are the player. You have OCs and you submit the OCs into the game. And it should look something like this, where you have your character name, a link to the character sheet or something like that, and you want to select a job. Jobs are there to kind of mix up when we want to mix up the OCs, so they're all split up between things. And also each job will have a couple of separate specific missions that only that job can complete to get a certain item. You also want to give a character permission of whether or not it's okay for someone to draw your character with gore or anything like that, any kind of character position at all. So on September 30th, which is the last day for sign-ins, I will look at your OCs and basically select which ones are going to be a zombie and which ones are going to be survivors. The idea is that one character from each player is going to have a zombie character and hopefully also have a survivor character. So all survivor characters then will be grouped up randomly so that your OCs with other people's OCs. Then there will be some kind of map. The size of the map is basically just going to decide depending on how many groups we have, so that there's some spacing out between the characters. For example, group A might be at position 1, while group B is at position 2. Everybody can see this. There will be another forum page that will just have the map, the locations, and then list the different groups on that map. Some missions will also be location specific, like saying at location 3 there is a item that needs to be found kind of idea. Zombies will also be located on the map, but this will not be on the public map. I will privately DM everybody where their zombie character location is, like saying, okay, Quil is near location 1. And no one else can see that, only you can see that. So, the gameplay. You're going to be drawing your OCs and other people's OCs. As a survivor, one of the things you can do is traveling. To travel, you're going to need a couple of points to travel across the map, such as if you're at location 1 and you want to travel over to location 3 to accomplish a mission, for example. Or if you want to leave your group and join another group kind of idea. In order to do so, you have to get enough points to travel to that location. So depending on where you are on the map will change how many points it takes to get to the location. So if you're at location 1 and you want to go all the way to location 3, it's going to take 3 points to get there. To get to those 3 points, you can either draw 3 sketches to get you 3 points, or you could draw 1 sketch and 1 colored sketch, or you could just draw line art, or you could just do a polished drawing to get 4 points. If you do the 4 points, you'll have 1 extra point that you can use at that location for when you're doing the mission. So they do kind of stack up. In general, it's a good idea to kind of submit all your attacks and all your art pieces per thing at once. So your traveling plus mission, for example, would all be set up as once, being like, this is my traveling points, 1 point over toward the survivor section. Toward the mission section kind of idea. And the things you can draw is basically any OC that is in your group. So group A can draw any character from group A, which in this example was June and the guy with the scythe. But you can draw any of those. I drew Kai here, so basically group B. The other thing survivors can do is missions. These will be prompts where you can get different items, and we're going to need a couple of items in order to win the game, basically. The idea and how many items you have to find will depend on how many players are playing the game. An example of mission might be, I'm hungry, can you catch us something to eat? And then you have to draw something related to that prompt. So you could do a colored drawing, which is worth, and let's say this mission is worth 2 points. So every mission will have a point count saying how many points you need to make in order for your group to get the point for that mission. So if you did I'm hungry, can you catch us something to eat? You can draw either a full drawing for 4 points, which is enough points to finish the mission, or you can go over and draw 2 sketches, for example, to get those 2 points to do it. As long as you have the prompt in with the art. Theoretically, if you, for example, had traveled here using 4 points, even though the distance is only 3 points, you can just draw the 1 character with the prompt, because that counts as doing the prop drawing for 1 point, and you get the other point from the traveling point. So that is allowed. The other thing survivors can draw for is defense. At least 1 hour before a zombie is going to attack your group, you will be announced that that's going to happen, and you can draw a defense against that. You're not allowed to draw your own OC. You first have to draw all the other OCs in your party until the party OCs all have 4 points, which allow them to survive an attack. So you can draw 4 polished drawings of them or multiple ones. And this is not just you. You don't have to draw every single character in your group. It's the job of the group to go do all the characters together. So if you had a group of like 3 people, for example, you could draw person 1, person 2 could draw person 3, and person 3 could draw person 2, and that would be able to get everybody to get all their points. And once you draw all the other OCs, and once if you draw at least 1 point for all the other OCs, you can draw points for your own OC. But you have to first draw everybody else. And they kind of have to first get those 4 points. So if you're trugging on for your team, yeah, you can draw all the art for that. Be totally good. So the zombie characters also have to do traveling. Like Quil, for example, was at location 1. If you want him to attack a group at location 3, it'll take 3 points to get there. All you have to do is draw your own character, your zombie character, and that will be able to get you the points. So you could draw 3 sketches of your character or line art of your character, and that'll give you enough points as your zombie character to make it over to the attack location. When you're going to be attacking, though, that's when things get a little bit complicated. If you're going to attack a group, you have to announce, I'm going to go attack group blank an hour before you're going to attack them. You can pre-draw this. You could draw all the art and then announce you're going to attack them, set an alarm clock, and attack them in an hour. Or you can say, I'm going to attack you in an hour, and I'm going to attack you soon, and then start doing the art then, and then attack them the next day. Both of those are allowed. There needs to be at least an hour gap between the warning and the submission of your attacks toward that group. So one attack is an opportunity to turn one character in that group into a zombie. That's the kind of idea. So the way it works is that you have to draw your zombie character plus whichever character it is you want to try to attack. So for example, my zombie is Quil. I could draw Quil plus June, or I could draw them all, like as actual full art, or I could draw them as sketch art. As long as you get up to 4 points, basically, you'll be able to specifically says 4 uncolored sketches, 3 colored sketches, 2 line arts, or 1 polished drawing. So basically, you need to get 4 points if you're using the point system mentioned above from the other count to make one attack. So one attack is worth 4 points, if you want to think about it that way. So you can send as many attacks as you want during that period. You have to say warning, then after that warning, you send them all at once, all the attacks you want. You can attack a group, you can give them 1 hour warning, send in 1 attack, send an attack, and then give them another 1 hour warning. That is also allowed. You can do that. You can't attack someone and wait 5 minutes and then attack that same group later. It has to be all your attacks submitted at once per warning. So how the defense works in here is that if you're like, okay, I'm just going to attack June, for example. You're Quil, and you want to attack June. So you draw Quil and June together, and you went to go attack June, but June has 4 defense points. What happens is that the attack goes over to hit whoever has the least amount of defense points in the group. And if there's ties, you can flip a dice or pick whichever one you want, and then that character will be turned into a zombie. And if all the characters have at least 4 points in defense, then none of the characters in the party will turn into a zombie. And that's all I can think of for the game. I hope that clarifies it a bit more.